Hey everybody, welcome to another album discussion. Today we have me, Josh, we have Tron,
What's up?
and we have RJ.
Yo.
It is a three-man crew today, and we will be discussing Dance for Philosophy's Excelsior. Have you guys ever heard of Dance for Philosophy before this?
Not at all.
So I've heard of them, but I hadn't really listened to them or anything. Like I'd seen their name around, especially like, at idol shows and stuff like that, or just, in passing, but I'd never listened to them. So I was pretty keen to be on this album discussion when we were throwing names out there.
It was interesting because I saw the calendar. We have like a little calendar that has like everything that's on the board. And I saw this on the calendar and I was like, okay, well, what's the group? This is the album cover, name of the album, right? So what's the actual name of the group?
Yeah.
It sounds like a group, like a title of an album, but it doesn't really sound like a group, right? So I was like, okay, but then I realized, oh, it's actually the name of the group. So I have no experience whatsoever of this group.
Yeah, this is their third album, if I'm not wrong. So they have a little bit of history.
So yeah, we're a little late to the late to the party. Well, Josh, you've seen them live, right?
Yes, I saw them. It was actually an accident because I went to go see a different group when I originally went. I think I went to go see Yanakoto Sotomi, which we just talked about a couple reviews ago. But they were performing alongside with them, like right before. So it was a pretty good experience. Their outfits might have been a little distracting. Like I couldn't really focus on the members' faces.
Distracting in what way?
It was like very like Osaka tacky, like that kind of feel to it.
Oh, okay. Like that one NMB video.
Yeah. It's sort of like that.
Interesting.
So I was distracted by that. I have heard a bit of them before that. Like I've only heard like a couple songs, so I was able to groove along. But I think after listening to them more after that, I would have been in the crowd along with everyone else.
This is their. We're assuming because we're not experts in this group. This is their first major album since they've gone major, right? So I think they've released a couple albums in the past. This is the first album they did have since going major. So
this is the only kind of full length original album that's available on Spotify. Which is how we tend to listen to most of these when we do our album reviews. So if you want to listen along or whatnot,
yeah, I think it's good because when people listen to watch these videos and listen to the reviews, it makes it easier for them to like hop on Spotify and check it out, right? So that's kind of like why we target specifically for if we have the ability to listen to Spotify, then it's great to be able to do that.
Ease of distribution, yeah.
Instead of buying like some random CD, like original limited edition that they could only sell at concerts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you guys think about this because I've heard this album before, which is rare for me to say.
Interesting. Well, I don't think you've ever heard you say that before. Maybe like once, but I never heard you.
Maybe on the Baby Metal album, probably the only one.
Baby Metal was like the only one, or maybe like AKB48's album, like the first one, but.
I was really keen to get on this album discussion because the ones I've been a part of in the past are albums that are already pretty, like, I'm a big fan of already near and dear. The last one I was on was the Lyrical School one, my favorite group. So I was like, when we were throwing names out there, I was like, I want to do some groups that I don't know about. And Dance for Philosophy was like the first one. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I'll get on that one. And I enjoyed this album. So without getting too deep, before the discussion starts.
You really like this album, huh?
I did. This is kind of like
the way you say it.
Okay,
I say it or the way Tron says it.
I also really like this album. I just wanted to.
I was saying, well, sometimes I can't tell because before we started the show, Tron was throwing some numbers out there already.
I gotta keep you guys on your toes. No, I actually really enjoyed the album too.
But no, this is like kind of right in my wheelhouse. Jazzy, groovy, funky, disco stuff I love that kind of stuff. So, what did you guys? What was your kind of?
No, yeah, same here. Like I love, like my dad's a big like growing up. My dad listened to a lot of 70s and 80s, like 70s like disco and 80s like pop. It's just what my dad listened to growing up. So
I know you're big into like old school R&B and stuff like that too. So
yeah, so there's like a lot. There's like genres that like really hit a chord with me in this album. And when I looked up the group, I listened to the album. I was like, oh wow, this is a really good album. Then I looked up the group, what kind of like their niche is in terms of like what their style is, and that was like 70s funk, 80s pop, synthwave, city pop. I'm like, wow, this is like checking off every single genre that I like to listen to. So no, I was really impressed. And once we dive into some of these songs, I'm really curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are because I was very impressed. Definitely. If you guys want to get into it right now, is there any song that in particular you want to get started off with? How about I just start off the first thing, like It's My Turn?
I mean, yeah, we can just go down the line.
What do you think about It's My Turn? So definitely funk bass. Like the bass are fun. I think that I have a note in here that like all the songs for the most part have some really good, awesome bass. Like the bass in these songs are just
it's like
really
Tron's
fun.
It's like Tron's reading my notes. Literally my notes for It's My Turn is holy fuck so funky. Oh, the bass.
The bass. Fun 70s and 80s vibes. I think we're on the same Google Doc. I think we put our notes in the same Google Doc. That is probably what it is. Yeah. But this is a really good song. I mean how fun it is. The bass notes are just insane. Starts you off like my ears perked up when I was like, oh, okay.
I think it's a great opener because it just shoves it right out there. It's just like, oh, dude, here we go. This is what you're gonna listen to for the next hour.
This is what I'm expecting. All right, that's cool. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Started off really well. And Josh, any thoughts on this one?
I mean, I totally agree with you guys. It starts off with a good energy, and then just the groove it has. It's just like
yeah, dude. It's so fucking funky. Like, oh man. I think the chorus is really simple, but it's so catchy. I mean, they just keep saying "It's my turn," but it's like with the groove that's being thrown down on it. It's so yeah, man. This is the kind of shit that I wish more idols did because it's just so fun. It's so fun. Funky shit is just so fun to listen to. So,
and I think throughout this whole album, it's like paying attention to the bass. It's like the bass is such an important part for this style of music.
Great way to start off the album, and then Love Variation comes right after that, which is kind of a little more bright and colorful song in my opinion, right? I mean, it's more like
for me, this one was more on that big band kind of jazzy side. That fucking the drums, that snap, snap, snap. It's just really, really fun track to just. It's a good follow up because it's keeping with that feel, that funky, jazzy, groovy feel, but it's different enough that it's not like the same thing. It's like okay, like. They're not just taking it, one note. It's going out into another genre that's close enough, but still different.
Yeah, it's like one of those subgenres, right? It's not like changing off too far where it sounds like a totally different group. And I think it has like a little bit of like the kira like shiny vibes into it.
Sure.
I noticed that, and then when I was listening to it, I was like, if this was like on like a TV show in the 90s as an opening, I was like, this will fit along pretty well.
Yeah,
with it.
That's a good way. That's actually a good way to describe it. I mean, because everything you guys said are definitely true. Like the trumpets that they have. Another theme.
I was really, really into the piano and the subtle horns because the horns like they're there, but they're not like bam right out there, right? It's kind of layered underneath, but it brings a nice touch to it.
The next one, I got a little bit of a 90s vibe to this one.
I put Janet Jackson, Bobby Brown, R&B vibe.
Right? Oh my god, dude. I put 90s R&B, New Jack Swing.
Yeah, New Jack Swing, yeah, dude.
I put baggy pants, bright colors.
No, literally Bobby Brown.
I felt like parachute material pants.
I can see them like sliding out on the stage, like in the baggy pants.
A Google Doc. A shared Google Doc
so
for these
funny,
notes. Like Bobby Brown, R&B, Janet Jackson, like it's all like 90s,
late 80s, early 90s R&B.
The first three songs definitely have some similar notes in terms of like the funky and the bass, but just distinct genre changes in my opinion. Because
I feel like it's really dynamic and it's a good hook. Like I think these are the perfect three songs on this album to pull you in.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good way of describing it.
Like if you're not already invested in the album by this point, then like
you're just turn it off.
This is not your thing, which is fine. It's not your jam. It's not what you vibe with. But if you do like this kind of stuff, you're definitely like going down the rabbit hole. Because again, the funky bass notes that are like in this song are just so good. I mean, it's like reminiscent to like we all talked about Parachutes, 90s R&B. New Jack Swing. That's all.
That's all I could think of when I heard the song. Whenever I heard the song play, I just pictured. I mean, I don't even know what the girls really look like, but I just pictured Japanese girls in fucking harem pants, like dancing around on the stage, dude.
Just like walking down like a Brooklyn Avenue. Just
there you go.
So good.
It's all. Real quick, how were they live, Josh? Because I mean, we got a couple of songs. I mean, were any of the songs? I don't know when you were in Japan. This album wasn't out yet when you were in Japan, right?
No, but some of the songs that are on here they already had released.
Okay.
Yeah, like pre-singles or whatever.
Live, they're full of energy. They're just like going around, they're very crowd driven. So like they really like are in tune with the crowd.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, because some of these songs I would love to see live. I would like definitely find a way to like fit in my schedule to see this group live. I mean, like now that I know about them, they're definitely going to be on my radar moving forward.
Are they as groovy and funky live?
Oh yeah, like they just get into it for sure. Like the singing and everything, they just go into it.
Since we brought it, before we jump into the next song, since we brought it up, just kind of their style overall, we're kind of a couple songs deep into it now. I wanted to point out that I think that their vocal prowess is like superb, dude.
Yeah.
There's one girl that has like a kind of an obvious idol voice, but the other three, it's a four girl group. The other three, my God, dude, like they have pipes.
They can belt it out. Yeah,
and it works so well for these styles of music because they can get soulful and they can get that funky groove in their voice and stuff. And it just works so well, especially on some of the later songs.
Yeah, I have this in the notes. Like some of these songs have just really good vocals. And apologies in advance to any fans who are listening to this album. I don't. This for me. I don't know the girls' names. I can't put the voice to the girls' names, but very impressive the girls' vocals overall in this album. So please forgive us if we can't like call the girls out by their name. But no, they're really good, impressive vocals.
All right, let's talk about the next song. Oh, that's Logic Jump. I actually really enjoy this song.
This is my favorite song in the album.
Oh, is it really?
I love city pop. Like I love like Japanese like synth city pop. Like this is like it's something that I not recently, but like the last few years I started like appreciating more, and like it's typically the stuff that I listen to in the background while getting work done. For some reason, just keeps my energy up. But this is just so good. This is like my favorite song in the album, bar none. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like the chorus is super catchy. Like I said, city pop vibes, 80s pop. Stuff that you probably would listen to in the 80s if you were listening to music in Japan, the pop scene back then. But no, I love this song a lot.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. It's like it kind of sounds like an 80s idol group, and it could even be like a boy group. Like I've heard like various different 80s boy idol groups that like kind of have this similar tone to it. And let's mention that synth solo transitioning over to a guitar solo.
Dude, the solo is sick. And this song actually took me a little to get into. At first, my first note was like, I'm not that into it. But the more I listened to it, dude, the more I got into it. And yeah, like now I'm like right there. I'm like, dude, this is actually a really good song. But I don't know why, but it just took me a second.
It was love at first listen.
Do you guys know who Malibu Convertible is?
I feel like I should know, but it sounds like an option on the car, obviously. But I don't know.
Tommy February 6th?
Yes.
Do you remember? So that Malibu Convertible is her production unit.
Oh, okay.
So, and to me, it has a lot of Malibu Convertible styling to it. Tommy February 6th or Hinoi Asuka, like Hinoi Asuka solo stuff, that was all produced by Malibu Convertible. It has that sound. Well, she does that kind of synthy city pop before city pop was really making that big comeback, like in the early 2000s, right? That's when Tommy was really popular.
Did they produce any other songs on this album? Do you know when you were doing your research?
I have no idea if they. That's what I was saying before we came on. I was trying to find producer stuff because I was so interested to see who produced some of these tracks, because they do have really strong resemblances to producers that I do know about, or just in general, it's really good production. I just kind of wanted to know, so maybe I could listen to more of their stuff if I didn't already.
Yeah, if anyone knows, leave it down in the comments below.
Yeah, please let us know. I mean, I might end up picking up this album anyway, so.
How about we go on to the next one then with Free Your Festa.
It's so funny. So my favorite song, then it comes to my least favorite song on the album.
I don't like this song that much at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's an okay song, but like it isn't bad. Let me just start off with that. But
it's
I feel like it doesn't
different from the last
it doesn't
songs.
stick out. It doesn't stick out compared to the rest of these great songs.
This is like the biggest swerve.
This Free Your Festa and the next song, which is, what is it? Parisia? To me, those two together just don't work for me. And especially putting them back to back, I feel like they sound a little too samey to me. They have this kind of silky, sultry thing that they're trying to do, and to me, it just didn't work as well. So putting them back to back when it's kind of the same vibe didn't kind of work. Especially when you had such a dynamic intro, like such a dynamic beginning where you're hitting these different genres, and then it's just all of a sudden like these two songs that are really similar. It sounds like an idol group that doesn't do this kind of music saying, "Oh, look, we're gonna put out a jazz." Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
You know,
that
like
makes more. It's like a throwaway song on an idol album.
Like a group that just kind of touches on different genres. Like this is our jazz song, or this is our blah blah song. And that's to me. So it felt like the most idol in that sense.
The arrangement and the arrangement of the song, and then how the girls just sing and they're just.
Did it remind you of Egaoya's Nude?
Yeah, maybe that's a good example. Yeah,
I actually like that song, but
the song, it was very slow. I mean, I guess it was just coming off a banger like Logic Jump to this was definitely highs and lows for me. So I really wasn't really it was fairly simple, a boring melody. The arrangement, like I said, wasn't that great. So yeah, I mean, you can't win them all.
It's very subdued. It's a little sedated compared to the first four.
And then just compare it to the next song, which is actually a song I like.
Parisia, yeah. So I like this actually song too. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah. So this one, like you said, RJ, it has a very similar kind of sultry, slower pace kind of feel to it. But I think the difference in this one is kind of I don't know, it's like comparing two different things and then deciding which one is the better one of them.
Okay.
And I think what do they call it? Parisia is is the better of the two. I think.
Oh yeah, I think this is much better than For Your Festa, but I still. It's still on the lower end of this album for me.
Yeah, this one feels I kind of grew to it a little more.
Oh, it's got a nice funky bass.
Like how it goes into that whole chorus. I really enjoy that part, and I think that's why I like the song so much.
I really like the jazzy lounge vibe it has. I mean, it has undertones something that you listen to a lounge that has smoke everywhere and some girls singing on the top of the stage. It has that feeling to it. Yeah, that's my favorite. Not my favorite song on the album. But out of the number, Free Your Fiesta or this one, this is probably my favorite one. If you were going to compare the two, synth is great as always in the song. How they introduce it and incorporate it, funky city pop vibes, but not as strong as the first 5 songs, in my opinion. But it gets better moving forward.
Yeah.
So this I forgot to mention. This is the part of the album where it gets kind of lost for me.
Yeah, because the pace slows down, right?
If you just have this album on in the background, this is where you kind of start to tune out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Except I think "Shall We Start" is my favorite song on the album.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I really like this. I don't know what it is about it, but it just got me. It's this down tempo, thick groove. It's this, you can chew on the groove on this, dude. It's so has this. Kicking back, you're chilling, summer night, and it's just got this is you just have a cool groove playing. I don't know, something about it just.
I feel you.
I said that the 2 songs before this were going for this kind of sultry, sexy feel that I didn't like, but I feel like this one is sexy in a different kind of way.
No, that makes sense. For me, I wrote down I could imagine one of those 80s movies during prom when they're slow dancing. This is what comes on.
Yeah, it's got a sexiness to it that isn't ooh, look at me. It's more of a just we're just together kind of thing. It's just a warm feeling kind of sexy thing. And I don't know, something about this song really, really gets me. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I think the chorus is especially good in this song. The difference in voice between the regular sections and then when the chorus comes in, that's what really gets me with the song.
And I think this is one of those songs where their vocals shine really well.
I was going to mention that. Yeah, the best part of this song, in my opinion, because it's kind of a forgettable song for me, is the vocals. How the girls are able to just belt out these in these chords. It's just really impressive.
Yeah. Then moving on to the next one. This is another slower one. It's Speech. But I think this one, for me, when I listen to this song, I think you with your buddies, you grab each other like this and you start swinging back and forth. That's what I imagine when I hear this song.
It's interesting. That's another slow song for me. I put sort of forgettable, but at the end of the song, that has a really cool piano solo. I'm not sure if you guys got that, but the piano solo is really cool. I was oh, I wasn't expecting that. I enjoyed that, but as a song over holistically, probably not my favorite. It's a little forgettable for me. Kind of started tuning out towards this end.
I like this one. To me, this is more of a later '90s, maybe even early 2000s pop song. This one kind of goes away from the groovy, funky stuff, and to me, it goes into more of a just kind of a pop song. I wrote down here. It sounds like an S Club 7 song to me.
Oh,
Which I don't know if you guys know S Club 7.
No, I love S Club 7, dude.
So do I, which is probably why I like it because parts of the musication.
I need to re-listen to this because I didn't get S Club 7 vibes. It's actually
there's just certain things. I wouldn't say it's like if you put it on, I would immediately be like, "Oh, dude, S Club 7." But there was something like some little things about it that just reminded me probably of like a really specific S Club 7 song that I just can't remember the name of or something. But that's the kind of vibe I got from it, and I did like it though. I think it was one of the first ones after because like I said, this middle section is when you do. Even though you might like the songs, you do kind of start to tune out a little. This is kind of ones that kind of brought me back when it came on.
Yeah. I think this song especially is more about the mood than it is about like remembering the song.
Mm.
All right, then let's move on to the next one with Vital Temptation. What do you guys think about this one? Because I really like the song.
The 70s funk.
So bombastic, dude. The production on this is so in your face, so out there. It reminds me of like the style of it just reminds me of Cowboy Bebop, like the seatbelts, like that band when they're just hitting really hard at you, dude. It has that huge big feeling to it, and the chorus is just catchy AF, dude.
So the girls are super impressive again in the chorus in terms of like just belting out those chords. Like we talked about it already, but like it's very impressive, how these girls are able to sing in their vocal range. But like it's like the song a little bit too slow paced for me, but I still vibe with it. But like the funk is strong, dude.
And let's say the horn solo. There's a horn solo in here.
Yeah,
I didn't bring that up, but yes, I actually enjoyed it.
I think that's what reminds me most of the seatbelts is the horn solo.
Yeah, God, I really am interested to listen to some of their like older stuff and see if this is something that has like evolved versus always been like a thing. Because like the bass, the funk, like the horns, the trumpets, like just. The everything about them is just something I really vibe with. So be curious to hear what their previous stuff sounded like.
Right.
Working down the list. So is it Heuristic City?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's interesting. Like this is actually I really like this. It's like probably my second or third favorite song on the album. I do enjoy ballads, and it's interesting because they did it. Typically, I like to listen to ballads, not idol ballads per se, because they typically don't do a good job because. Usually idols can't sing that well, but obviously we talked about the girls can sing very well, in this group. So I enjoy the ballad arrangement and the synth like undertones of this song really, I vibe with as well. So
yeah, I think this song combines like the sultriness of what we were hearing in the middle with more of the funk from the beginning. So I really enjoy like the mix of the two. And then like I don't know if you guys noticed, but the mixing on this song is like a little bit different than the rest of the songs. Like I feel like the instruments are more like mixed around. I don't know how to explain it.
But I remember just loving the bass on this song. Like the how they introduced the bass is really, really great on this one.
Yeah, I think this song is like my favorite, if not my second favorite.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
For me, it doesn't really do it for me. I think the chorus is very good. I really like the chorus. The chorus is catchy. But I love the strings on it. Because I love strings in general, so I really like the strings on it. But overall, it didn't really do it for me. It's not bad, but it wasn't one of the best or anything for me.
RJ and us always having conflicting opinions.
Me and RJ, I think we always have differing opinions. But I'm curious to circle back on Josh though. Is there anything you want to go over? Why this is maybe your favorite song on the album? I mean, I'm really curious to.
I think I just really enjoy like the energy it has to it.
Okay.
Like it's not like too fast, but it's not too slow. But I still feel like you just like sit down and just close your eyes and just groove to it, which I really appreciate. Like and really with this group, I think the mood is like always on point. Even like in the middle where it's a little slow, you still kind of like have a feeling towards it. You can still visualize something to it, which I think is really hard for other groups.
And one thing I want to bring up is that I feel like even for the songs that I'm not that into, pretty much all the songs on this album, except maybe the very last song. Everything's built around a really strong chorus. Like almost all the choruses are really catchy, really fun. Like I think I've said that for even all the songs I don't like. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really like it, but the chorus is really nice. It's like the choruses are like, I don't know if that's by design, if that's how they did it, but I feel like it's built around this chorus.
I 100% agree. I think like having a strong chorus just really like helps bridge everything together. Just kind of makes a strong impact for all the songs. I mean, definitely prevalent in this album with this group. So cool. I mean, so just diving into the next song, them disco vibes, live life.
Live life. Yeah.
Live life? Live life.
Live life. Yeah, if you look the hiragana, it's live life.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was live life too, because it makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But
correct.
just now when
it was live life, yeah.
Just now, like before we started recording and we were looking at that track listings in hiragana, it's or in katakana.
I didn't copy that over. I just had that one. So cool. Yeah, definitely strong 70s disco vibe. I remember listening to the instrumentals of the song when the song first starts. It reminds me, what's that song called? Turn the beat around. Like it has that like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah. It makes you want to like stand up and kind of dance a little, right?
No, the energy is just
it's really fun and funky. It's got like almost everything I like. It's got the bass, obviously, the horns, it's got the strings, like all the things I really like about
that trumpet solo at the end, dude.
Yeah, dude, these kind of songs. And to me, Tron, I don't know if you agree, to me this sounds like a dance man song.
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, which is probably why I like it a lot. That was one of the reasons I was trying to find production stuff, because I was like, yo, man, this is dance man. Is he hiding out in here?
I think this is actually my second favorite song. So I think it was like what was Logic Jump, then it goes this, and then it goes Heuristic City. I think those are my top 3 songs on this, because I love just the energy. Like I'm really into like stuff and songs that can give you strong energy and like you can just vibe with really hard. I want that Genki energy coming through. So I think definitely like this one was high up there.
It hits all the boxes, man. And like we learned on the Morning Musume one, I'm a slut for Dance Man. So
yeah, I think this is a really solid song. The energy just goes all the way, and even the chorus like explodes with that groovy energy that I think really helps separate this group from other groups. And it's just a good one that makes you stand up and dance along with it.
All right, so rounding out second to last song, Happy Ending. Do you guys agree this song was a happy ending? Because this song was pretty not memorable for me. To end a song
I think it's nice. I could see it being a really good concert closer, because it has that nice warm feeling, like, oh yeah, we're all, they can come out and they can, you can do this, and you get the crowd involved, because they say happy ending 80,000 times in the song. I don't really have anything negative to say.
No positive. It's not memorable, right? To me, like
besides them saying happy ending a lot, it's not that memorable.
You can't hang your hat on anything about the song. Like, and that's why I said it's just like a not memorable song. Like I don't know how you feel, Josh, but like I was kind of underwhelmed listening to, because like the next song that technically isn't an album, but it's a bonus song. But we're assuming that this is the last song of the album. I was kind of disappointed with such a great album, with so many good bangers in this album, to end it on this one. Just, I mean, I get it. I mean, like RJ said, it's a good like ending song for like a concert, but a little underwhelming in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this song was kind of built for it to be kind of like, all right, everything's ending, like, let's go out. And even has like little moments in there for the audience, I think, when you listen to it, and then starts introducing the instruments and everything like that. There's like a little sax solo that I imagine they do to walk around and do stuff. One thing I noticed in this song was the bass. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I think the bass stood out for me in this song. And generally when I just hear the song, I just think of watching a 90s movie and then watching the credits roll by. That's what I think of when I watch this.
That was probably a bad 90s movie, because like, I don't know, like this song just wasn't really vibing with.
I just think it's like a good, like, just finish it off, kind of like with that same feel. It isn't like a song meant to be memorable. It's kind of like all right, let's unwind the album.
See, I like strong like the Baby Metal, like the new song for Baby Metal. Well, but there's like a song that like Baby Metal ends their concerts with, that I can't remember the title, but it's like a strong finishing. And then like Hello Project songs and like Morning Musume songs have like really strong, like fun, energy filled, like, okay, the concert's over, it's emotional, thank you for you guys for being here. Those kind of like, uplifting songs. This one just didn't really have that for me. So I think it's just my preference in terms of like, if you're gonna end a song and an album and you kind of call it happy ending, like, yeah, bring it.
I mean, it is happy, and it is the ending.
Yeah, so I guess it did accomplish that.
I guess it fit the bare minimum. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the last song, I guess. Next Christmas.
This is the bonus track.
Technically a bonus track that you see on Spotify, but it's not. It's on their website though.
Yeah, on the digital version of the album.
I don't know about you guys, but I love Christmas songs. Like I'm a sucker. You can give me Christmas songs any time of the year. July, I fuck with it. Like I just love Christmas songs. So
I do enjoy Christmas music. I also find a lot of Christmas music to be kind of bland and to be just kind of background noise. I like good Christmas music. I don't know. But the vocals are very good. The production is very good. But I'm like, it's a Christmas song. I don't know.
the chorus is very catchy. Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I wrote down that this is like one of those songs that will eventually become just like mall music.
Yeah, which is what most Christmas songs are to me.
But I imagine, like when I hear the song, I imagine the crowd that's there, and then just them like going at it. Just like how there's some Christmas songs that everybody just sings along with. I feel like this is like one of those songs for them.
I just want to I'm like fixated with the chorus because like the girls just belt out.
No, the vocals on this are really good.
Yeah, like when you get to the chorus and it just like belts it out, I'm like, oh man, it's so good. I'm just like, that's like the best part of the song is the chorus and like just the Christmas vibe and like the instrumentals of it. I don't know. I'm a sucker for Christmas music, so that definitely was up my alley. This is the best way to end an album, in my opinion. To end it on a Christmas
well, there you
song.
go. They gave it to you.
It worked out.
I think this is a better ending than happy ending. I will say
There
that.
we go. Let's take it. All right.
So we listened to the right version.
Listen to the right version.
Well, we had no idea. We were just like...
All right, then let's move on to our individual ratings. Then, who wants to start?
I think overall the album's production is really well produced. The vocals are great. I love all the jazz and funk disco sounds going on. A couple of songs feel a little too samey, like I said. Those few in the middle. But overall, it's very good. It's very strong. Chorus is again catchy as hell. I don't know. I'm glad we listened to this. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Kind of similar to what RJ is talking about. Like we mentioned earlier in the video, when I listened to the first 5 albums, songs on the album, like it checked off every single genre that I just love listening to. So city pop, funk, 80s, 70s, disco, and pop. So I'm gonna give this album a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed this album. Like there's like
obviously that's Tron's highest score, I think.
I think it ties. I think I gave Waseda a 9 out of 10 too. But there's a couple of songs in this album that obviously were kind of not too great, but overall I am super glad that I was part of this album review and know more about this group because I'm really excited for any future stuff that's coming out. And there's a few more albums on Spotify that I'm definitely going to be checking out too. But like the album itself, like the production, the mixing, the girls' vocal ranges, very impressive across the whole album. But yeah, I mean, just everything. Who doesn't like city pop vibes? Who doesn't like funk? Who doesn't like disco, right? So checked off all the boxes for me. 9 out of 10. Great job.
And for me, I will give this a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, let's go. All right.
I think this is my lyrical score.
Is this really your highest score? How about Baby Metal?
Maybe lyrical score.
I love like a feel good, funky song, and this is just full of them. The album is just so good, and I feel like when you listen to this, there's none that like you listen to and you're like, oh man, that should never been on there, or that shouldn't have like existed at all. I feel like every one of them, at least for me, is like enjoyable at the minimum. And again, solid album. The mixing of the songs are good. I noticed that a lot of these songs were released before, but they were remixed for the album, and it was noticeable for me. And then when I saw them, the crowd was like for the few songs that were out by then, like the crowd was totally in sync with them. And again, I wish I knew more about them back then, because then just knowing what I know about them now, I would have been up there in the front. So yeah, 9 out of 10. And with all that together, it brings it to a 8.6. And rounding up, it is a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Oh.
Tied your lyrical school.
Good
Look at that.
Look at that. So, no, this is a great album. I was really impressed. Thank you. Who suggested this? Was it Josh?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, good job,
I give the 9, so.
I think I seconded it. I was like, yeah, let's do Philosphy No Dance.
Good job. I was very impressed. Awesome.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed that, go ahead and listen to on Spotify. We'll have a link for it down below. But that does it all for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like. Leave your comments on your impressions after listening to both this album discussion and the album itself. Again, we'll be there discussing everything, whether you liked it or you disliked it, or whether you agree with us or disagree with us. All of those you can comment down below. You can subscribe to see future album discussions. But that's it for this time. We'll catch you guys on the next video.